How we doing, everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of Talking to Mod. I'm very excited this week because we have the bass player from a band that I absolutely adore at the moment, and that band is the Mary Wallopers, and her name is Róisín. Let's get on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy Talking to Mod. Oh, there it is.
Hello.
What's the crack?
What is the crack? Fuck on. What? Am I allowed to curse?
Oh, listen, do what the fuck you want on this. It's
Right.
so laid back.
Fuck on, to be honest, anyways.
Fucking, like, when I first met you, it was you who couldn't talk. And, like, the last few days, I've been fucked with my voice, man. Like, I feel absolutely fucked today.
Really?
Bad. But, you know, we're professionals. We pull through it.
You know, we have to always put on a show.
That's it. I've gone for the trusted lemon, honey, and boiling water. I mean, I like to put a little bit of ginger in there as well now and then.
Ooh,
but we didn't
ginger.
Nah, we ain't got none in the house, so I'm pretty disappointed about that.
Try some paracetamol is good. If you're on the Norfen, I prefer paracetamol over it for adding with your throat. I find it works a bit better.
I know something, like when I used to have paracetamol, right? This is not even a joke. It used to give me the worst nightmares, and I used to wake up sweating as if I pissed the bed.
No way.
I'm not
I wonder what that is. That's mad, isn't
honestly,
it?
so I refuse to have it and all that, and that's the truth. Like, it's such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing. And anyway, how are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. I went on my first ever holiday there like a few days ago. I went to Barcelona for like 5 days, but it was my first holiday I ever booked in my life, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. So it was good crack. I just lay on my arse over there doing nothing.
You crack me up. I don't even know if you mean to, but it's just you absolutely crack me up. Like, for those of you who are listening to this, when we first met, was at the 100 Club, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I remember talking to you, and you were just looking at me, and I was like, she's a bit fucking rude. Do you know what I mean? Right? But obviously you're not. You know that. You know what I mean. Anyway.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, she can't speak at the moment. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then you got the app out. You had this app on your phone, and it, like, everything I was saying, and you replied through the app. It was like Stephen Hawking sort of shit, wasn't it?
It was like a less advanced Stephen Hawkins, really, wasn't it? Like, there was such a delay, like no conversation could flow. It would take me like 2 minutes to get the app open and type and
so
say it.
Funny. I mean, as far as first impressions go, that's up there with one of the best, really, isn't it?
After that, I was so sick. After that, the day after, I ended up in the hospital in Glasgow.
No way.
I just had such bad tonsillitis, and I just didn't want to give in and be like, oh, I know I'm really bad, that I need to just get like an IV into me. But I was like, oh, fuck that, it doesn't matter. And then I was going to the airport, and I was like, why is my like chest so sore? Like, I was like dying. But I went up and just went to Glasgow Hospital, NHS there. Amazing. The NHS is amazing.
How did you feel when you were on the actual stage doing the show? Do you remember?
I felt like death. Yeah, I felt pretty. Yeah. I was like, oh, you should. The lads even were like, don't do the gig. They were like, stay in bed. But I'm a stubborn fucker, like, so I was like, no, I'm not in London for no reason. I was like, getting out and doing that gig, but I was sweating profusely. But I mean, we got there. Like, a gig happened, a great gig at that, Mr. Mod.
I tried. I turned up, didn't I? That's the most.
Oh, it was so crack. Like, it's just.
I loved it. And
yeah, it was good.
Have you been to that venue before?
Never. No, I've only ever like heard about it.
It's fucking iconic, mate. Honestly, like the bands, you think of the people who have performed there. It's crazy, and that's what I liked about it. Like, it's been on my tick list for a while, and the right gig come up, and it's just, you go there, the history. I mean, you think of how many people have walked through them doors,
Yeah.
heroes, people who I idolize. And while I'm on that one, like, what sort of music and heroes were your inspirations growing up?
Oh, I was kind of a bit all over the place, I suppose, growing up. Like, I was raised like my father. He would play a lot of music in the house, so it was tunes like the Pogues, but then like Rage Against the Machine, like yeah, anything and everything. A lot of Queen, Rage Against, yeah, a lot of like heavier stuff as well, like a lot of two-tone kind of ska as well. Our lad was listening to, as well as like kind of trad kind of mixes. And then as I got older, I kind of stuck with the heavier stuff, became a little rocker, was into all the rock music growing up. And then the older I got, then I kind of got more into jazz and all. So my like inspirations and heroes have kind of changed as I've gotten older, and kind of grew into an artist kind of more. Like now I'm a lot more influenced by uh a lot of jazz musicians, I suppose, more so, because just their kind of drive, I'm just like, whoa, and tunes. So people like Esperanza Spalding, Cecil Taylor, Ornate Coleman, again, them two guys are like free jazz musicians. Really kind of, I like normal jazz, but I do like jazz that kind of pushes the boundary a bit more, and music that makes you uncomfortable, I enjoy. It's beautiful because it evokes a reaction that you can't stop. Like someone's kind of visceral reaction to something, like, so yeah. Yeah, mainly jazz people now. I'm trying to think. I listen to an awful lot of like grime music.
Do ya? Do ya? I wasn't expecting
I,
that.
I think it's class. Like, I think it's so good.
Do you know who's that? I tell you what, this is my guilty pleasure. Post Malone, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
His first album, I think his debut album, right? And that Dave,
Yes,
the rapper,
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So me and the missus were watching the TV the other day, and I don't know why, like I think there was a Dave song was in the background, and she was like, "What's this shit?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Dave, it's class." And I just felt a moment where I looked out, like I didn't even have to look. I was like, "She's giving me the biggest like
Yeah,
evils, that
yeah,
I've just said."
yeah,
Dave is
yeah.
class, and she's like, "You like this music?" I was like, "Oh, it's all right. I like his first couple of albums and shit like that." It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
so I
yeah, yeah.
explained that, but I mean, you mentioned an absolute cracker of a band there at the beginning. You said the Pogues, right? Now, when
Yeah.
I first saw you guys, it was so like you could see the inspirations that you've all had together, like with the Dubliners, the Pogues. And for me, I mean, my old man, my dad he got me into that sort of music with the Pogues, the Dubliners, and I think it's absolutely class. Now, when I saw you guys, and it's not me like blowing smoke, because I said it to you guys, like when I first saw you, I never heard of you. No, 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 that's come across wrong. I heard of you, but I never really listened to your
Yeah,
music that much, if
yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Like, not that I didn't hear of you, because funny story, when I was on tour with the Brian Jonestown Massacre at the beginning of last year, I saw a poster at the Kentish Town Forum, and it was the Mary Wallopers, and I thought, who the fuck's this band like that, right?
Who are these
Because
lads?
like no, because it was like this poster of you all, and it was the one where I can't think you're all in a field or something, and he's got his hand up like that, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, right? But
Yeah,
I couldn't
definitely.
help but think, shit, I've seen this poster again, because like there was a few venues. I think, did you do Manchester
We
Ritz as well?
did, as far as I can remember. I'm nearly sure it was the Ritz, but definitely Manchester definitely happened
So
that
I
year.
saw a few posters, and I couldn't help but think, what the fuck's going on here? Do you know what I mean? But at the time, I didn't proper dive into it,
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah,
so locked in my ways, where I listened to like the Who, the Clash, the
yeah,
Kinks,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the Jam, and then when I saw you guys, I was like, oh fuck me, like, and this is the honest truth. Since that first gig at the 100 Club, you've been my favourite band.
yeah.
Like, I've not, I know it's like a proper like fan moment in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't wait to go and see you live. And then when I saw you at Belfast, I was completely blown away. And I want to move on to, no, in fact, before I move on to that bit, like, let's talk about the crowds you have, because they are fucking insane.
They're mad yokes. Like, I don't even know. Like,
it's a bit like, obviously, when you, I mean, my accent stood out like a mile off, right? And people were like, "Are you sure you're at the right gig here, fella? Are you last? Were you supposed to be at a different gig?" And I was like, "Nah, listen, I think they're fucking ace, mate. You get on this, right?" But like, the crowds were like, I weren't expecting that. Like,
yeah.
people crowd surfing, going mental, and I was honestly blown away. And I can only imagine how it feels from your point of view on the stage. Like, what's that like? Seeing people go fucking mental.
Oh, I love it. I love any form of chaos. The more chaos, the better. But seeing people like crowd surf and mosh and throw themselves around the place, it's class. You really just feed off the energy. Like it's such a give and take. I think with our performances, like the audience is a big kind of participant in it as well. You know, as us kind of performing. But I'm actually really wanting to get a wireless setup. So I can go to one of our gigs. I want to go to my own gig, but the only way I can do it is if I have a wireless setup, and then I can go into the crowd.
Oh, mate, that would be carnage.
It would be
I can see it now, like people lifting you up, like you're on someone's shoulders, giving it someone the old bass, going, "What a fucking gig this is!"
Just in the middle of like a mosh pit playing. Like, it would be so funny. And everyone, I just see reviews constantly of our gigs, and I'm like, I actually really want to go to one of our gigs. So, you know, they can't get another bass player because I obviously won't allow that. So the only thing I can do is just have the wireless out.
Class. And the thing is that stood out for me the most is, like, you could just tell, of course you're friends, you know, but it's more like you're all family as well. The chemistry you've all got on the stage is there to be seen, and I think that's what makes it work. So, like, when you're there and you're in the crowd, you feel settled down because you know the people on the stage aren't going to start fucking kicking off like you're at an Oasis gig. It's just all chilled out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I mean,
it's I'd say now for the lads, like the three guys, it was probably very like scary for them introducing new musicians into the mix, because you know, there's so many personalities within us. Like, there's, at least when we're touring, there's like maybe 9 up to 12 people with us, you know. There's so many personalities within the group, like, but we've just, I don't know, we've kind of struck gold to where we're all kind of messed up enough, like, that we all get on really well. And, you know, I think we're so lucky with just our group dynamic, like, that we just, it's like a dysfunctional family, like, you know. It's we all care for each other, we all look out for each other, and it's like that off stage as well, you know, away from touring, even like just at home, if you need that, and like, you know, you can just call the lads or anyone, really.
That's lovely to hear as well. But I mean, as I said, I saw you guys on the stage, and then after the show, being with you all backstage, and that, it is like you could just tell it is just one big family,
It
isn't it? I
literally
mean, you're all just chilled out and
yeah.
getting on with each other, and it's so refreshing to see that. You know, you see some bands, and it seems like they get on stage because they have to. You know what I mean? But then to be off it, and as you said, the dysfunctional.
Yeah, but it's great because when I first kind of went into the band, the lads like kind of introduced us to their circle of people, and just everyone that they have around them is so positive and creative and wants to make something, want to be doing something. So just as myself kind of going into that circle with them, I was like, this is a great bunch. Like, even just the band and then the kind of extended circle, it's all just so solid. Like, there's just kind of no fools.
When was your first ever gig with the band? Do you remember that? How did that go down?
Our first gig, we played in an old jailhouse in Dundalk, as the first gig as like a bigger unit. And I don't know what I can say and what I can't say in terms of getting in fights with organizations. Well, I don't know, this Irish music organisation maybe didn't like us too much. Maybe I was wearing a Misfits t-shirt in this really, like, it was a kind of like, I think they expected proper kind of trad, and then we walk in a bit more kind of not that, kind of spitting on the walls, and so, do you know what I mean? Like, just different. We're just a bit different. So you could kind of tell the organisers were a bit like, what is going on here? But it was good crack. We played it, and then we all just, what did we do after the gig? I have a feeling we went to the pub, probably.
Oh, 100%. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
I'd say we did.
The fact that you can't remember says pub.
Says, yeah, it does. Screams pub there, yeah.
Screams
but
yeah,
first
Bender.
Game, it went a lot better, I think. It all just kind of happened, and then we were like, all right, it's not too bad, because we don't rehearse either. Like, we don't rehearse or practice.
Right.
That's something that I learned very quickly when I joined the band. We just don't rehearse it. We just do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, like, if we rehearse it, I mean, like, it could be an hour, and then we're like, all right, we'll just head out. Like, it's kind of, the magic for us happens on stage, you know, like, because it's, again, just that feedback with the crowd, and kind of, it puts you in a completely different playing space as a musician. Like, just like, rehearsing's grand, like, but, you know, you can rehearse by yourself as well, like, you know, and then just all come together, and then it's done, you know. We're all capable enough to be able to, like, play tunes.
I don't know why I seem so shocked then, because it's similar to myself. Like, people assume that I practice 24/7 to get to the level, but you know what? I hardly ever practice now, because I just love doing it live. You know, I get where you're coming from there. But let's talk about magic when you use the word. I mean, talking about that, right? New Year's Eve on Jules Holland, that must have been incredible. I mean, not only that, you had an icon in Rod Stewart there as well, right?
Yeah, literally.
And this ain't even me saying it, because I jumped to Twitter as soon as you guys were on, and for me, you know, again, I don't want this to seem like, oh, you're on that, I'm blowing smoke up your ass, because it ain't like that at all. If I had my missus down here, she'd tell you he's absolutely obsessed with the band, right? But for me, I honestly thought you guys stole the show. And I know for a fact that I ain't the only one who says that, because I've seen a lot of comments saying that. But I thought you guys, it was almost like, right, let's do this and let's just see what happens. And it was absolutely incredible. Now, I don't know how it felt from your point of view, but from me watching it, my mum was watching it, my missus, my little boy is not old enough to even know what's going on yet. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's Paw Patrol or Sharks, he ain't got a clue.
Yeah.
But for us, incredible. Let's talk about that. How was that for you?
Oh, it was class. It was so special. Even just like having Spider there with us, like so close to Shane's funeral and all of that sort of stuff. It was just so beautiful to, like, there was kind of like healing or something in it, like, for him to be able, like, I feel like, in my opinion, after just like a passing like that, and then just getting to play, like, music is just such a healer. So we were just so thankful that he came with us, like, and would do it with us. But like, it was mad. The whole thing was magic. Like wow. It was filmed over like 2 days, and the day before, well, it was filmed over 1 day, but there was like a kind of dress rehearsal day the day before, and it was me, Ken, and Finian just sitting down watching Rod Stewart, like, sound check and do a rehearsal, and we were like, what is going on? Like, at what point this year did we think we'd be sitting like a few feet away from Rod Stewart, like, dancing around the place, like, singing? Like, it was magic, like, and all the performers as well were class. Like, who was on it? Sugar Babes, Mary Bradley.
Oh yeah.
She's an Irish singer. Like, she's from up north, I'm nearly sure, but she was unbelievable as well. And like Joss Stone and Ray, and then the legend Jules himself, of course.
And you had was it? Oh no, am I getting mistaken? Was PP Arnold on that one as well, or was she on another one?
Oh, she was.
Was she there?
She was too. Yeah, she was too.
I mean, that's another legend, though, isn't
it? Absolutely, 100. Like, it was full of legends. Like, But the actual recording itself was so funny. I mean, the people in that audience, they are full of drink. Like, the amount of drink that was in that room, it was beautiful. Like, it was unbelievable. There was one point that I was falling around the stage with just a bottle of Prosecco in my hand. Like, it was literally New Year's Eve, genuinely in there. Like, it was class.
Jesus. I mean,
it was class.
That there, it would have been my absolute dream. I mean, I don't drink anymore, right? But that would have been my dream, to be fucking getting on that and doing. But
Yeah.
it just, honestly, it looked brilliant. Now let's talk. You did 3 songs. Was
Yes.
it four songs?
3
songs.
Three of them, yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Let me see if my memory serves me right. Holy Grail. I can't pronounce that one. That's it. Now listen, I've set myself a goal, right?
Right.
See, I love that song. Absolutely love the song, but I can't say the lyrics. It's too quick for me, right? So I've seen like on YouTube. Who was the original?
I actually don't have a notion.
There's these 2 guys singing, and it's so slowed down.
Yeah.
Right? But I still haven't got the foggiest idea. But I just love the song. Absolutely love the song. But as I said, one day I want to rock up to the karaoke and go, this is what I'm playing, mate.
Yeah.
Get on this and proper belt it out.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I just can't even say it. But the crowd were going wild over that, weren't
they? They were loving that one. They loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think they got a shock when we started playing. I don't think anyone knew what to kind of expect. We were kind of like we were the smallest artists there, like, you know, like us and Mary and Bradley. Well, like we were like the little ones there, like, and I think we started playing then they were like, what the hell? Like, they weren't expecting it. So it was cool to see Rod Stewart doing a little boogie to it, like, you know. It was cool. It was kind of, he was moving to it. He was moving.
That is the stuff of dreams, though, isn't it? I mean, just to look over and go, fuck, what is going on here? As you mentioned, like, it must have been. When did you know you were going to be on there? When did you get the call for that? Do you know?
Oh God.
Was it quite recent? Like, when I mean recent, was it like a month before or something like that?
It was. So there was like, we were kind of getting little bits. I think it was a few months before. Just being like, look, this is in the talks. It might not go through. Like, you know, don't get excited if it, you know, because it might not happen. And I can't. When did we find out? I can't really remember. It's all. My memory's so bad.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry.
I can't remember, but I remember just after that we were all just like, what? How are we going on to like just watching it and. Like, that's such a big thing in Ireland, the Jules Holland show. Like, it's like so many people watch it. They said one of the producers said she was expecting 5 million people to watch it. I was like, what? Where? Like, that's the amount of people in Ireland. Like, if a whole country watched us, like,
that's mad.
I was like, what? So
that is incredible.
Insane, like, insane. It's some experience, like, and even just seeing Jules Holland in the flesh, like, insane. Like, he's one of the top musicians I've ever seen. Like, I mean, from the minute we got to that studio to the minute we left after filming, he just played piano all day.
Serious?
Like, he did not stop playing piano, like tinkering at it. He was just at the piano over the 2 days for the whole thing. Like, he never stops. Like, he's an animal, like, doing all mad, like, runs and everything with one hand, not even looking, like, talking to a producer about something. Animal.
Mental, innit?
I've never seen the musicianship in my life like that. And even the band that they have playing in the back, like, some of the members of that were from Squeeze and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just, all of them, it was top class musicianship. Like, I was just like staring at the bass player being like, how is he getting that sound? So, like, how is it sounding that good? You know, it was class.
As you say, the stuff of dreams,
literally,
though, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah, you can't even dream it. I never thought in my life that I'd just be on Jules Holland. So it was never a dream of mine. But now that I've done it, I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was literally like a dream.
Brilliant stuff, though. brilliant stuff. Let's talk about this bad boy.
Oh, there it
There
is.
it is. I mean, I'm holding it up, but I mean, if you're listening to it on Spotify, you're going to be like, "What the fuck's he holding up?" It could, do you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
yeah. But this was the debut one, was it? Well, no, this is the most recent one.
That's the most recent lad there, yeah.
That's the most recent one. See, when I discovered you, this come out, was this November?
Yes.
This come out in November, right? And then I went on Amazon and I saw this and I was like, oh my God, like
Double
this
whammy.
is Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Right. So like this come through the post and then another one come through and Mrs. was like, you got another one. I know you like them, but do you like them that much? You had to buy it twice. I went, no. Listen to this. This is something completely different. Bosh, put it on. And I don't know. I can't make my mind up. You know, I think they are both class and they're both unique in certain ways. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you can really hear the growth of us through the first and second album. So I'm very excited to like get if we do another album, I don't know, yeah. When we do another album, just to hear how our sound's going to grow even more again, it's just so exciting. Like,
do you have a favourite from the first one? A favourite tune?
What tunes are on
it? Number one, Wonderwall. Number two, no. Do you know the forest is over, right? Frost is over. Is unbelievable. And is it Eileen O?
Eileen O, yeah.
See, when I first listened to it, I love the way it starts off so slow and then it really gets in, and it reminds me of you might think, what the fuck's he on about? But Lonnie Donegan, a bit of skiffle. The way, he had like the Rock Island line. Have you heard of that song?
I have, yeah. Jesus, so that's a throwback.
He's the way that started off slow and then really got fast. It was like, I mean, I'm not comparing the two because you can't. Do you know what I mean? But I like the way how you just started off nice and slow and relaxed, and then next minute you're smashing the doors in, and it's proper giving it some.
That's what we like. We like this. Even in our sets, we'll want them to kind of come up and down. So we'll start it slow and then kick it off really loud and bring it back down and kick it off really loud again. You know, just keeps the momentum and the movement of stuff kind of going. Like,
do you know what? It's actually funny you say that because Ken gave me one of the set lists and I've got it in one of my rooms, and I looked at it, funny enough, before we went on this, and you do notice the way you start high and then you start down again, and it's like, and it is like literally like a roller coaster of emotions in the gig, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it's kind of what we want. It's just that reaction of like when you think something's going one way, then it goes the other. You know, you kind of react to it. So
let's talk about obviously the latest one, and that got a hell of a lot of love as well.
Oh my God,
didn't it?
So much. It's mad to even see just like reviews coming from it and everything. Like, it was really, really well kind of taken.
My favourite song on this one has to be number 10. Do you know what number 10 is?
No.
Seriously, this is your album, man. Like,
I know, but I don't memorize the back of it.
Wexford.
Beautiful. Charlie sings that one lovely.
And I was actually going to say, like, I forgot to mention it at the time, but in Belfast, I thought you didn't play it until I looked at the set list, and you did play it, and that must have been when I went to the toilet or when I went and got a drink. Missed it.
Nothing worse.
But that is just such a beautiful tune.
It's such a gorgeous song, like, and it's such an important song to be sang. Like, you don't want songs like Wexford to just fall into just kind of being forgotten in history, like, because it's just everything it's about, like, and even just the Pecker Dunn, just how important he was for ballad writing, and then even just the travelling community. You know, it's important to keep these songs alive. Like,
it's it is absolutely stunning. Like I've on Spotify, you know, it comes up with your top ones. I
Yeah.
tell you, it's going to be well up there next
You
year
don't
when it gives me my things. I
rap,
can't stop.
yeah.
As I said, like when you listen to the album, all the songs, I love them. Like there's
Mm,
not many you skip past because you love them, but when that comes on, I have to replay it a few times
yeah.
because I don't know, like the way it starts off, you know, and then I don't know, like you just it takes you somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the
It just it's such a it's one of those songs that it's just universally understood, like just that kind of want for to feel pride and things like this, and where you're from and loving your hometown, all these sorts of feelings like are so universal. So to have it sung by a person of like the Pecker from a marginalized community, like as being a traveler, it's just so important that it gets heard and it gets circulated and people sing it. That's what I love about, I think, the Mary Wallopers as a band, is that all of the songs that we sing, like the ballads and stuff, are so important, and they have so much they've a story to them. Every song has a story. But then to see people all around the world relate to them stories and to sing them stories, regardless of where they are, or who they are, and all these sorts of things, like it just shows the kind of just how important ballads are, and that kind of art of preserving music and always passing it down.
100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. Out of all the songs, like from the first album, the second album, do you have one that stands out for you that means a lot?
I'd probably say Gates of Heaven, because it's just a work of art. It's a beautiful song that Andrew wrote about the church and the corruption within the Church of Ireland, and kind of what they've done to us over the years. And it holds a lot of pain, and it holds a lot of weight to it, because it's a lot of people in Ireland have been touched by something like the Magdalene laundries, and by uh, forced adoption and these sorts of things. So I think that song it's like anytime Andrew sings it, I get a bit emotional. I'm just like, it's just so heavy. It holds so much importance. Like, I'd say that, or probably the Idler, because
That's
again,
a great tune.
Idler's a great tune. It's just so it's universal topic that everybody can understand. And just even the way Seán says in it that, about the people who say Ireland is full, go back to your home. That's so important in Ireland today, because there's such a rise in kind of racism and far right kind of ideology. Like, so for him to be putting that anti-racism sentiment into music now, it's just so important to have it. Like, it's so important to stand and be like, no, this is my beliefs, and to have it in your music and to come across so well is such a great thing. So I applaud the lads for their songwriting. Like, all three of them are such different songwriters that it's so fun to work with. Like,
And as you said, just to sort of add to that, they're staying true to their roots, which I
exactly.
love, and as you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
they're singing about what they believe in. And
Yeah.
like you literally took the words out of my mouth, because there's not enough people who sort of do that, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, people might not like us for it. They might not. Who gives a fuck? If that's what you believe in, you go sing your art out about it. And that's
Yeah.
what I loved. That's what I loved. And
Exactly.
it was
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Because as a band, well, as a three piece, even, like, the three guys have always been very vocal about their kind of anger towards the Catholic Church and things like this, and even Palestine, always been so vocal about these sort of matters. Like, so it's just something that will always continue to do, is stand by what we believe. And if that's not for people, that's not for people. It's as simple as that.
100%, 100%. As I said to the guys when I was in there, I said, listen, loved the gig, it was brilliant, but leave the fucking English alone. Do you know what I mean?
we always try and tell people we don't hate the English.
No,
We hate the bad lads. Like your sound, you know what I mean? Like
it's funny. Like when they were saying this, like I can't think what song it was. What's the one where he goes, "They were English pests" or something? Oh, it's the one where it goes, "Oh, is it
Rocio.
Rocio. That's it." And then he said, and everyone was just looking at me because I say everyone, the people around me, just the accent, like to see if I was offended. I was like, "Fucking go on, son, give it some."
We've always said, like, we think that English people like being given out to about their past. They love it. Like when we're just like, "Oh yeah, fuck the Brits," they're like, "Woohoo!" Like, tell us more.
It's like a badge of honor, eh?
I mean, I don't know. It's some weird kinky shit they're into. I'm telling you. They're just like, yes, give out the paddies are on the stage singing to us.
Do you know? Funny. Just come to my just remembered. There was a lovely moment. Now I don't know if you got to experience it because you guys all went backstage to dressing rooms, but at the end of your show, they played the Pogues, Dirty Old Town, and because of how significant that song was, because of the passing of the late great Seán McKenna, like it was beautiful. Yeah. It was just such a beautiful moment. Was that song played after all your shows, or was it just, did they just put it on in the Belfast one? Because I don't really know.
So yeah, we decided, like, kind of after Shane kind of passed, that like it's only right to kind of, you know, there would be no Mary Wallopers without Seán McKenna. Like, there, you know, we wouldn't have a lot of bands in Ireland wouldn't have existed. Like, so we decided to play Dirty Old Town. Yeah, after the end of all the gigs, and Seán McKenna, a photographer who he does all of our gigs and things like this, he made a compilation of after every gig of the crowds like singing Dirty Old Town, and it's just magic. Like,
beautiful.
It's pure magic. Like, but I'd say security hates us because you can see them trying to get people out, but the song is playing, and by the end of the gig, I mean, people are fucking, I mean, falling down around the place. Like, so they're all in groups, like hugging like this and all, and the skirt, you're like trying to usher them out, but you can't move them.
Right. Let's just touch up about I mean, Seán McKenna. I was very, very fortunate. I managed to meet him once, and was in his company, and we had a long chat, and it was just one of them moments which it was just special because, I mean, songwriting wise, you put him up there with the best, you know, with the likes of your Paul Wellers, you know,
absolutely.
You know, that's just obviously the people that I listen to. But I mean, songwriting ability, he was incredible, and as a storyteller, the way he told it. But funny enough, I've actually got a picture of him in the bathroom when he played in West Belfast it might have been 1985 or 1995. But I bought it in Belfast City Centre. There was this bloke, and he had all these pictures, and there was one of Seán McKenna fagging his hand near the mic, and I was like, I've got to get that. But I mean, what I noticed, obviously, I'm Belfast, and you know, down south, I noticed that when he passed away, that's when I realised how important he was to the Irish community.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't speak for that myself, you know what I mean? But I mean, the way I saw it, it was almost like everyone lost a family member. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I think it's like everyone in Ireland, whether you're my age or older, like grew up with, like, not even grew up, but was around the time of the Pogues, or grew up like I don't remember a time that I like didn't know who the Pogues were, you know, because they were just played in every Irish house. Like the Pogues were just, you know, it was just, it's common. Like, it's just not like everyone in Ireland knows who the Pogues are. It's like even when Sinead O'Connor died, it's that same kind of heavy loss of Ireland, because I think we do. we do love our poets and our storytellers and our creatives because they're able to capture, these feelings that we feel and things like this. But the likes of Shane McGowan were just such a national treasure because they just flipped what people thought upside down and made, they made the ballads more acceptable for the working class and lower class and kind of blurred that stigma. Shane was just like an Irish legend who just touched everyone's lives in Ireland, really. Just him, Sinead O'Connor, Christy Dignam, three legends in Ireland that died last year. And for those three funerals, Ireland was fully in mourning, about the loss of these great creatives. So yeah, Shane has touched everyone's lives massively. I sadly I was never fortunate enough to meet him, but the three lads used to go up to him and they'd roll him joints. they'd roll him smokes and sit and watch documentaries with him.
That is class.
Yeah.
That is class, right?
It's so class. And Charles was telling me a few times, Shane would be shouting at them going, you're shite or whatever when they start singing. But the lads turn around and say, shut up, will you stop? You know what I mean? So by the sounds of it, what the lads have always said was that Shane was a real messer. Do you know what I mean? He was just a messer and an honest man, And I'm sad I never got to meet him, but I'm happy that the band that we had that experience of that. And sure, now we're hanging out with Spider Stacey, another legend from the band. So
100%.
It's mad. It's mad.
Am I right in saying, I might be wrong, as similar to what you said, memory. I remember a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff I forget. But you would have been on tour when the news broke that he passed, wasn't you? So for them shows that you did after that, did you feel almost I don't want to sort of say you sort of felt like you had to, I don't know, I think you get what I'm trying to say without saying it, not live up to, right, these are all going to be dedicated to him, but you felt like you had to go out there and do the best show you could possibly do.
1,000,000,000%. It was a thing of right, we have to step it up now, lads, because he's gone. It's we're going to have to start putting the work in way more because the gaffer's gone now. Someone's going to have to do the job. So we definitely all, it was something that wasn't even said. We all just fucking put our hearts into them gigs, because we felt it so heavy. And then even here in Dirty Old Town, when we heard he had passed, after the gig, we stood from the side of the stage and just watched the crowd singing because we just, it was cathartic. It was so beautiful to know that this legend has a room of people singing after a full gig, has no one leaving the venue singing to a song. He's a legend, and what he's done for Irish music and what he'll continue to do for Irish music will be, I don't believe there'll be a stop to it,
100%. As you said, though, I mean, what a beautiful way to end the gig, though. You've played your set and it's almost like the final curtain coming down, ending on Dirty Old Town. And it was a beautiful moment. But I mean, last year you had some incredible moments, and I mean, you toured America, didn't you? You went all over the world practically, and it was sold out shows left, right, and centre. It was one of the hottest tickets to get. That must be absolutely incredible.
It's insane. It's hard to even put it into words because I feel life is moving so quickly that I didn't have a chance for the year to kind of stop and be oh my God, I just played Glastonbury, oh my God, I just did the Jules, all these huge moments. Everything just moves so quickly.
And you met me.
And then I met you, twice actually, But there's so many of these moments that just move by and go by so quick that are like so big in your life, but you just don't get the chance to stop and take it in. Like, so it's weird like that. But the soul, like, I don't know what we're doing selling out that many gigs. Like, I'd just be like, who is coming to the gig? Like, I'd be like, who is coming out? Like, it's mad. It's like going to countries that we've never gone before and selling gigs out. Like going over to America and having the response we had like the first time was insane. Like,
How do you think, or what do you think the key to that success is? As you said, you went to America, all of a sudden you're selling out shows. Is it the power of social media? Is it word of mouth? I mean, what would you say the secret
I
is?
don't even.
I mean, obviously it helps that you're fucking great at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the big things that the band has always done, even the three piece before the band has even come along, was to be completely themselves and to be humble, which is just such a big thing for us, you know, like to always be ourselves and to bring that across to people. I think that's what draws a lot of people to us. There isn't any kind of airs and graces with us. Like, who we are on stage is who we are off stage. Like, we're just a bunch of messers who've just happened to, you know, get the chance of a lifetime to do this crazy like music stuff, you know. So we're just like, yeah, like, you know, I don't know. It's that life moves very quickly. Like when you're on the road, you know, it just flies past.
You've just got to take it all in and enjoy it at the time, haven't you?
Literally, that's it. I just stay thankful and I stay humble every day. Like, I just remember who I am and where I've came from and where I'm going, and that's it. You know, everything else
absolutely
is a plus. You know, you have to stay humble to yourself and your beliefs and stuff, because you know what it's like in the entertainment. It's easy to bend and start to mold into kind of different people's ideas of what they think, because maybe it's more marketable or this and that, you know. It's easy for that to happen, you know. But if you just stay like an ignorant cunt like I am, then you'll be all right.
No, you've hit the nail though, haven't you? There's a lot of people in the entertainment industry who want you to, or they want to mold you into what they think everyone wants to see. But it's so refreshing to see people just stay true to their roots and not sell out and go, fuck it. Listen, if they don't like us for who we are, we're not going to let them like us for who we're not.
Exactly, like exactly, because all of us, we grew up in musical like families where music was being played all the time, and like we're all from like working class backgrounds, you know, these sorts of things, where we are who we put out ourselves as, you know, that it is a proper representation of who we are, is the image that we have out there, you know.
Brilliant. Well, you got a tour coming up soon as well, haven't you? Is it March?
We do, yeah. I think it kicks off mid-March. Yeah.
Have you got any island shows or anything like that? I mean,
no, not that I'm aware of now. The last time I looked at the calendar, I didn't see any. But we're just so flat out throwing ourselves all around the world. Like, we're going to Australia this year.
Mental.
What's going to be happening out there? Like,
carnage. Absolute carnage.
Because oh my God, I saw, like, how would you say it? Like, a bunch of people like us, not scumbags. Degenerates. I don't know. You know, we like our pints and all of this sort of stuff. But there's loads of those sort of people out there in Australia. And if
you're fitting well.
And if not, even worse than us. So I think
is Australia towards the end of the tour?
No.
Might have to jiggle them dates about a bit.
So yeah, we're doing America, Australia, back to like Berlin and Europe and all those types of places, all around the place.
I think you're doing London. Is it the Roundhouse?
It is,
Camden?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try and come to that. I know. I bought my dad for Christmas the album, and I want to try and take him to a show, because that'd be nice to take my dad to a gig.
Bring him to the
I know,
roundhouse.
he'd love it. I might do it. I think it's a Friday or something. I have to look into that, but
Notion.
I have to get on that, I think.
Yeah.
But it'd be great, be great. Be good to see you guys as well.
Yeah, because last time that magic you were doing it wasn't right on our mental health, like
Was it
crazy. I still tell
See,
people that I think you're like satanic in a way or something, because it doesn't make sense why a man can be doing magic all like that.
do you know one of the best quotes someone ever gave me was Will Sargent from Echo and the Bunnymen, and he come on. We did Liverpool with the Brian Jonestown massacre, and Anton invited Will onto the tour bus, and he said, "Show him some magic." I showed him some magic, and his quote was, "I'm in league with the devil." And I said, I come home and I said, listen to this. I think it's a great idea. I've got to get it tattooed on me. And the missus was like, "You are not getting that fucking tattooed on you."
That would be a class tattoo. It'd be great, like tramp stamp.
I ended up getting this. You can't really see it. It's like, can you see it?
Oh,
but
nice.
It's like he who fears death cannot enjoy life, right? So on the band, a lot of them had it, and I found that when I got it done, I thought it was to do with Brian Jonestown massacre, right? But it weren't until after that it's a band called the Dead Skeletons. It's one of their songs, and Ryan, who was the keyboard player, was in the Dead Skeletons. Now he's in the Brian Jonestown, and they've sort of took on board the Anton's got it. There's about 3 of them who've all got it, and I thought, fuck it, I've got to get this.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, what a cool story, eh?
Did you see we announced the gig with the Libertines there?
When
is it actually?
Did ya? I haven't seen that.
Let me have. It's Brighton on the Beach or something. It's
called. Fuck me, I'm all over that.
Yeah, so you'll have to go down to that definitely. Anyways,
that's another story. I was on. That's the first tour I ever did. Was on tour with them boys, right? And Carl, we were in. I think it might have been Plymouth, and Carl wrote on my arm, Libertine, right? And he said, I said, "I'm going to get that tattooed." He said, "Oh, well, do you want to get it tattooed now? Because we've got a bloke coming in who's doing tattoos." And I was like, "What?" He's like, just get it tattooed, get it. And I went, "Oh, let me just go and check with my mum if that's all right." You know what I mean? Like I was completely bottled it.
That is brilliant.
But then, obviously, to and forth in contact. But when I saw him, went to a show that he did on a New Year's Eve, like 4 or 5 years ago, and I said to him, "Right, Carl, I'm definitely going to get it done. Definitely going to get it done. Do it again." He wrote it on my arm, and next day bottled it. But he messaged me. He's like, "Did you get it tattooed?" I was like, "Listen, mate, tattoo shop's shut, so it ain't happening. But I'm going to have to get it done. I'm going to have to get
definitely.
It done." But
I just looked here. It's the 29th. No, it's not. It's the 28th of July, Brighton Beach.
My birthday's the 29th of July. I'm all over that. I'm going to have to jump on that with the family.
The Libertines, the Charlatans, Mary Wallopers, the Big Moon, the Future Heads.
What a line-up that is.
Yeah. It's a funny one, isn't it?
I honestly didn't see this. That is fucking mind-blowing. I'm going to have to jump on that if I'm here, honestly.
Definitely. Definitely. Come down to it.
My last question was going to be, what have you got lined up for this year? But I mean, I know you're going to be flat out with the tour. You're doing it, like you've already answered it.
Yeah, it's mad. You don't get a second. Like, I'm literally looking at the calendar here. It's just flat out. Like, I could just scroll and scroll and scroll and just like, But
you know what? And I know you do anyway. Just enjoy every moment.
Look,
because
I mean, do you know, all the hardship, as hard as like this kind of job can be, because it is very hard, you know, being anyone getting up on stage all the time. I think just when you're on stage, it all makes sense. You know why then. It doesn't matter they have to travel hours to get there. You know why you're doing it then. So 100%. I'll enjoy everything.
Well, I mean, listen, I could honestly speak to you for hours because you're just so easy to get on with. And No, I mean it. You know, you're such a lovely person, and you're very talented, as are the rest of your bandmates. And I could watch you guys for a long time,
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try and get to either the London show or the Brighton one. I'll definitely
yeah.
try and make one of them.
Well, we'll have a talk. We'll see. We'll see what's going on.
It'll be a good it'll be a
It'll
good crack.
be a good bit of crack.
I'm still trying to work on my accent.
You're getting it. You're getting it.
I'm
Definitely.
getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. But listen, thank you very much for joining me on this evening, and look after yourself. God bless, and I hope to see you soon.
Mr. Magic Mod, the same with you. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. All the best. Take
Mind
care.
yourself, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll leave.
It's a magic mud, a man of illusion, a magic god, the one the mud. I'm the magic mud, with a sleight of hand, a magic god. See my hands like raisins in the sand. Everything's work, a silver man, will flick of the wrist and it's gone.